Okay, this part is going to be about multiples and factors. Now, what are multiples? Multiples are a number multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So let's say the multiples of 2 will be 2 times 1, which is 2, 2 times 2, which is 4, 2 times 3, which is 6, 2 times 4, which is 8, and so on. We go on. And the smallest multiple is always going to be 2 times 1 or multiple times 1. So it's just going to be, let's say 2 times 1 is 2. So let's do some examples. Let's do the first multiples of 15. So we would start at the smallest multiple. 15 times 1 gives me 15. The second one, 15 times 2 gives me 30. 15 times 3 gives me 45. 15 times 4 gives me 60. It's very easy. Now let's do a little bit more difficult one. Let's do the first three even multiples of 21. So firstly, we're going to do the multiples of 21, which is going to be the first one. 21 times 1 is 21. 21 times 2 is 42. 20 times 3 is going to be 63. 21 times 4 is going to be 84. 21 times 5 is going to be 105, and then 21 times 6 is going to be 126. Okay, so then the question is the even multiples. So let's see the even multiples. The even multiples of this is not even, that is not even, 105 not even. So the first three even multiples are going to be 42, and then 84, and then 126. Okay, so now we did multiples. Now factors. Factors are numbers that can divide into other numbers exactly without having remainders. So any number, first you have to know any number can be divided by 1. 2 times 1 is 2, 5 times 1 is 1. And the biggest factor that can go into every number is the number itself. So the smallest factor is going to be 1, but the biggest number, let's say we say 20, the biggest factor that can go into 20 is 20 itself. Um, all factors, let's say if we do factors of 20, are going to be lie between 1 and 20. It can never be bigger than the number itself. So if we have 20, it's all going to be between 1 and 20. All our factors are going to lay there. And to find factors, we start with what numbers can go into the biggest, the 20, the biggest number. So we would say, what can go into 20? What's the smallest one that can go into 20? We would say 1, and then at the end we will have 20. That is the factor pair. It always comes in pairs. Then we're going to say 2 can go into 20. Yes. How many times? 10. And then we're going to say, can 3 go into 20? No. Can 4 go into 20? Yes. How many times? Going to get 5. And then there's nothing. 4 and 5 is exactly next to each other, so you know there's no way there's another factor going to be in there. So let's do an example. Let's do finding the factors of 48. So we would say the smallest one once again is 1 can go into 48, and the biggest one is going to be 48. Then we're going to go say 2. Can 2 go into 48? Yes. Then we're going to have 24. Then we're going to say 3. Can 3 go into 48? Yes. We're going to find 16. And then we're going to say 4. Can 4 go into there? Yes. 4 times 12 goes into 48. Can 5 go into there? 5 can't go into 48. Then we're going to check 6. Can 6 go in there? 6 times what is 48? 6 times 8 is 48. And then there's no number in between there that we can use. So the factors of 48 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 24, and then 48. Okay, so now that we did multiples and factors, we're going to come to terms with um, the lowest common multiple of any two or three numbers or four numbers, or the highest common factor. So let's start with the lowest common multiple. Now we just learned that multiples are just a number multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4 exactly. And now finding the lowest common multiple, you're going to have, let's say, the 3 and 5. If we have 3 and 5, what is a common multiple? So we're going to start with what is the multiples of 3. It's going to be 3, it's going to be 6, it's going to be 9, it's going to be 12, it's going to be 15. And then what's multiples of 5? We're going to start with 5. We're going to then have 10. Then we're going to have 15. And so you make your list until you find one that is exactly the same. So in this case, 15 and 15 is the same. So our lowest common multiple for 3 and 5 will then be 15. Okay, we have also learned now what are factors. Factors are numbers that can divide into a big number without having remainders, which is important. And then we ask what product. So let's say what are the factors of 10 would be 1 and 10 and 2 and 5. So the product pairs will be 1 and 10 and 2 and 5. Now finding the highest common factor, we have to choose two numbers again. So let's take 20, 12 and 15. Okay, so we're going to say once again, what is the highest common factor? Find the factors of the number. Now 12's factors are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. Okay, and now 15's factors are 1 and 15, and then 2 can't go in there, 3 and 5, and then is that the last one? That's the last one. Now we check in there what is the biggest common number of each list. So the highest number that can divide into 12 and into 15. In this case, we see that the only number that is the same for both these are 3. So the highest common factor for 12 and 15 will then be 3.